First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is President's Day. Bill is back with us tomorrow, we hope. He's a little under the weather today. But Smitty and I are pushing on. And joining us now in studio, Tucker Rosemeyer. He's got a new venture in downtown Utica. It's called Beef and Bird. And you got two places right now?
Right now we have 1886 Prime in Frankfurt, and now Beef and Bird is on John and C Street.
Well, I'll tell you, I've heard great things about both. I haven't been to 1886. Did I say that right?
1886.
1886. I notably, when I wrote a story when you guys first opened up a couple years ago, I was still here full time, and I wrote a story, and I think I put like 1872 or something.
Well, the building was built in 1886, so it's an easy one.
Yeah, that's an easy one, and it was just, I think, a typo on my part. But I hear great things about them. Let's start with Beef and Bird, the new place. What is Beef and Bird?
Beef and Bird is a little sandwich shop where we specialize in roast beef and chicken, and basically the star of the show are these fresh cut fries that are cooked in beef tallow. That's the main thing, is that we're not using any seed oils to cook in, and that the French fries are fresh cut and cooked in chemical-free beef tallow. Because there's a lot of people jumping on this bandwagon with beef tallow now. But
I even see for like skin, they say you should moisturize your skin with it.
You know, it's very similar to human fat. So when you use it, it just works easily when it goes on. But as far as the beef tallow that we cook with, you could use that for your skin. But some of it has like a little beefy smell to it if it hasn't been deodorized. Ours is deodorized with steam, not a chemical process. So it takes away that little bit of farm smell that comes with it at times.
Sure. And then what's the deal with the seed oil? The idea is the beef tallow is a healthier option?
For years, it was demonized, like butter, eggs, red meat. All of these things were demonized as being unhealthy. Now there's new information, there's new studies coming out that's actually not true. And the other thing is the seed oils, basically canola oil, which comes from the rapeseed plant. They don't even give it its real name, but it comes from the rapeseed plant, vegetable oil, corn oil. All of these things are very high in linoleic acid. It oxidizes under high temperature, which causes free radicals, which that's the problem in the system. And beef tallow does not oxidize at higher temperatures.
Gotcha. So this is a trend now.
It is trending. It definitely is trending.
It's funny. It goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back for a long time. You mentioned butter and eggs. Don't eat them, don't eat them, don't eat the yolks. And I don't know. I guess there's conflicting science on this. But how's it gone so far?
It's very busy. We're very blessed. We're lucky that we've been well received in downtown Utica. We opened for lunch. Initially, we were opening at noon. There was people lined up at the door, so we said, hey, let's get in here and open at 11. So we open at 11 during the week. We close at 7. Kind of dies down in that area.
Sure.
Especially in the winter. But we're busy all day. We got seating for 14, 15, and there's people standing. We don't have a phone. So people, you want to come in, it's kind of like bosses. You place your order, we call your number, and that's how it works. You know, we don't want the food to sit around.
I got you. No, I like it. Fresh and made to order. So you talked about the fresh fries.
Fresh cut fries.
Talk about this.
The fresh cut fries, we're cutting fries all day long. I talked to the guys at Five Guys, and we're doing about half the amount of them, which is impressive because Five Guys is booming over there.
Yeah.
They're using peanut oil. We're using beef tallow. So eventually we're hoping to get that up there. But we're cooking fries all day. I heard the mayor on last week. He talked about our French dips. We call them the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper. These are roast beef sandwiches. We roast the beef every day. We make our own bread for these dip sandwiches. We're also using Heidelberg rolls for some of our chicken sandwiches. Yeah, so, we're supporting local. We're doing all the cooking hours. We have a limited menu, but we're keeping it small. We're just trying to push out something that we want to do best.
Yeah, and as they say, Jimmy talked about this Jimmy Falo talked about it. We play the hits, man. Do what you're good at. Simple menu, straightforward. This is what we focus on. This is our specialty, and enjoy it. So you said you got a lot of lines there. There's no phone, so you can't call an order.
You can't call us. We're definitely getting messages on Facebook. They're calling my Facebook number, but If you want to get in touch with us, come in and talk to us. You could send us a message. We do have a gluten-free option. There was a lot of talk of, the gluten-free people. They came on there. They made their presence known. So we do have a gluten-free roll. So we have a gluten-free roast beef sandwich and one of our chicken sandwiches, which we just added. We call it the Dirty Bird, which is a chopped chicken sandwich. It's chopped chicken thighs. We could do that and a gluten-free roll as well.
Love it. Are you now? You don't have a phone. I know I just mentioned that, but what I'm getting to is, do you do the delivery services, the DoorDash, the Grubhub, the Uber Eats?
Honestly,
can people do that?
We don't do that right now.
Okay.
We are so busy
Yep.
that's just, it's not in the cards right now. Maybe at some point that may happen, but we're really looking to do something different than everybody's doing. Come down, order in person, talk to people, spend some time in there, eat it in your car. But, this isn't one of we would probably explode if we had something like
bet
that.
you would.
But we just can't handle the volume right there.
Gotcha.
For that.
No. And your location, you're on I always forget the name of the road. It's the strip right next to North Jenny if you're heading over the bridge.
It's considered Genesee Street. That's my legal address, but we're next to Silk.
Over by Utica Coffee.
Utica
that
Coffee.
Strip there.
And it used to be Utica Bread for a little bit there.
Yeah.
So,
where
and it's a
Taylor and the
one-way
Cook
street.
used to be.
Taylor and
Right.
the Cook used to be on that street.
Yes. All right. So that is Beef and Bird.
Beef and Bird.
When did you officially open?
We opened right before New Year's.
Nice. Okay. And you've been great for 6 weeks. It's gone great for you. Happy to hear that. Tell us about 1886.
1886 Prime, maybe it's a sister restaurant. We're seed oil free down there. So what we're doing, we're also cooking in beef tallow. We created a chicken wing sauce without liquid margarine. So this is the only one. Everybody else is using liquid margarine, which is not healthy for you. It's just not. So we did one with avocado oil. Can't taste the difference. We put butter in there to get that butter flavor. That's what we're doing with our purple cow wings down there. We're selling Prime burgers, USDA Prime Smash burgers. We're fresh cutting our fries down there. And this Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. So we're going to be doing fish fries as well down there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this is more of a come in, sit
you
down.
You can sit down. We have seating for 40 or 50. We're waiting on
more of a restaurant
we're waiting
style,
on
right?
a beer and wine license. In the meantime, people bring their own in. They party up down there, have a good time, stay late, and it gets wild sometimes. No, it's a great place down there. I mean, it's in Frankfurt, so a lot of times people from Utica, they don't want to drive down in the cold weather, but a lot of our business is out of town, and obviously Frankfurt people support us great, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Did you bring anything for me to sample today?
Well, the plant medicine thing, that was our last conversation, I think, and we had a good time with that. I'm still working with that. Still, spirituality is a big part of my life.
So what do you mean the plant medicine? We're talking about...
Well, the plant medicine, last time I think it was Sananga, which is an Amazonian plant where it's used to clear and the tribes use it to hunt with. Ayahuasca, the Bufo alvarius toad, those are all things that...
Is ayahuasca the Aaron Rodgers stuff? Is that the stuff he tried?
Yes. I mean, and you could see what it's done for him in his life as far as just his energy. It's changed his life.
Yeah. I would say on the football field, he's got to have a better attitude, I think.
Well, I think...
It's always the wide receiver's fault. It's never his fault.
He's probably past his prime a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's time to, go sit in the booth and talk about it instead of playing on the field, but...
So, okay, let's talk about what you had brought in that one time. I was so naive walking into this because Bill's like, hey, Tucker's bringing this thing in. It's these eye drops. He wants you to try them. Now, this was a plant that they put into a liquid form?
The Sananga eye drop. So they
Yeah.
take the root of the plant and they basically grind it up and put her in a water solution. Some of them aren't as strong as others. The one that I actually happen to have is the one it's like dropping battery acid in your eyes. And what that did was...
Thank you for that.
It made you stop thinking about any of your other problems and focus on your eyes. The release of adrenaline in your system pumps up, though, right?
Yeah.
And then if you were to go, say hunting monkeys in the jungle, you're gonna be ready for that.
So for those who weren't listening at the time, this happened a couple years ago. Bill had said to me, Tucker's got these drops. He wants you to try them, or he wants somebody to try them. And I said, yeah, absolutely, I'll do it. So as you guys were explaining this, as you said, you don't think about anything else. So in my mind, naively, I'm thinking he's going to put these drops in. It's going to be like a body buzz.
Yeah.
I'm only going to focus on positive energy and positive vibes. I didn't realize when you said you'll stop thinking about everything else is because there's a lot of pain and you don't know what's going on, you lose. It's like if someone came in and smacked your hand with a hammer. You forget that your toe was hurting.
Would you do it again?
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll have to set it up.
I'll do it. We'll do it in studio.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, absolutely. I'll do it again. I remember instantly thinking, wow, this might not have been the best idea. But I do get it. It kind of makes you focus on what's important. And it also, there's an element of, I don't want to say survival. That's a little
Serenity
dramatic.
afterwards? Did you feel the calm that came afterwards?
Absolutely. Yeah, because you kind of realize, I can still see and I've got everything going on. So, like, the important things, I guess. Do you still... Can I ask you about this? Do you still make trips and try out stuff?
I haven't had a trip in a while. My last trip...
we're not talking about an acid trip. We mean a trip out of the country.
No, I was in Colombia this summer. I went to Colombia this summer, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest, it was the first time that I actually got robbed. I got robbed in Bogota, Colombia. I was sitting there trying to do a reel. I was videotaping some pigeons. An old man came up to me, asked me for some directions, and it just so happens that he was part of this greater scheme. And then another man that portrayed a cop came up to me and pulled me off into a side street, and they got me for $1,300 cash.
Wow!
I handed it over. I mean, when you think you're going to get robbed in Colombia, knife, gun. No, it was just I handed him my cash over because the old man was part of this whole thing, and it was it was disheartening. It was. I was just there just to enjoy myself and relax,
Holy cow.
Could have gotten worse.
So if anybody's traveling, explain how this scheme works. Give more details on this.
It was just an old man came up, asked me for directions, and then another...
Well, hang on. That's a red flag, though. He's a Colombian guy?
He was portraying himself as being from Ecuador. He had a whole story. He's from Ecuador looking, his wife's there for eye surgery, and he was looking for his hotel.
Wow, elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah, it was elaborate. And then another guy showed up claiming to be Interpol police, and he started asking him questions.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of me.
To make it look like,
and then he's like, all right, you two come with me. And I'm like, I'm not even with this guy. And the whole time, I'm not even realizing that these two were together on this thing.
Wow.
So we went off to the side street. He had the old man hand him his wallet, and I saw that there was hundreds in his wallet. So he asked me how much money I had. I had some cash. I had just watched a YouTube video about not leaving your money in the safe in the hotel room. So I was carrying my cash
everything
on me.
You got. Yeah.
I had about $1,300 on me. Handed it over, and as soon as I did that, I saw a little tattoo on his hand. I was like, oh, man, not good.
Oh, no.
And then he started walking, and next thing you know, he's down the street and waving to the other guy, and everybody just disappeared. And I'm standing there like an idiot. Minus $1,300.
Wow, no jewelry.
I had my chain on, and he kind of like touched my chain, and I think maybe he got the energy. I'm like, it's the Blessed Mother on there. You don't want to mess with her, so he let that go. But
so you turned over your whole wallet, or was it just the cash?
It was just the cash.
Okay,
yeah.
I was going to ask about IDs and stuff.
I left my passport in the room, so I had my phone with me, so I showed him my. He was pretty thorough as far as portraying himself as a police officer.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was the first real bad thing that ever happened to me in probably, 30 trips out of the country. Never had anything like that happen. And,
wow.
That's the last time I had traveled.
You're still going to go, though, right?
I'm still going to do it. Oh, yeah, that's not going to stop
You're wiser
me.
now.
I'm wiser now. I tell the story, and, there's a lot of bad stories about things. I don't go out. I don't drink at the bars there, so I don't have to worry about people dosing me with any scopolamine or anything like that. But that's a serious thing in these tourist cities in South America, where they'll put it right. It's like taking 20 Xanax and they drop it in your drink, and you're sleeping for 3 days and getting robbed for everything. So you don't want to drink out in these places.
Yeah. I guess we have time real quick. I actually got what I think was roofied at a bar in Montreal years ago. I told this story on the air before. I went up with, I was going to school at Plattsburgh, and some of us were over 21 or about 21, and some of us were 19 or 20. And so in Canada, you can drink at 18. So we planned this trip. We go up there, and there's this bar in the middle of nowhere, and they're doing this special where it's you buy a draft, and they were giving it to you in a red Solo cup. It was buy one, get two free. So there's like 8 of us. So we got like 24 cups of beer all at once. So we put them on this round tabletop, and then we were like playing darts or whatever. And so you finish a beer and you go over, you just grab a cup. It was all the same kind of beer. We had, like I said, 20-something cups among the 8 of us. And I think one of the guys put in something in the drink. He thought it was for one of the girls. I don't mean one of the guys with us. I mean one of the locals out there.
Canadians.
Yeah. And I grabbed that cup, and I was there for half an hour. It was like 9:30 at night. This bar's open until 4. I told my roommate, I go, dude, I need the keys to your car. I got to go lay down. I don't know what's going on. The room was spinning. I was really exhausted. Next thing I know, they're getting back into the car, and I said, oh, hey, you came and get me up. Oh, let's go have a good time. They go, it's almost 4:30 in the morning. You've been sleeping for like 7 hours or 6.5 hours. And somebody clearly put something in that drink. Yeah. There's no question. After a beer and a half, for me to have to sleep for 6.5 hours, I didn't get robbed or anything, thank goodness, and nobody on our group got hurt.
Watch those Canadians, huh?
I guess I guess so. All right, so one more time. Beef and Bird, give us the hours, and same thing for 1886.
Tuesday through Saturday. We open at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. We're closed at 7. We run until Saturday. 1886 Prime, it's open from Wednesday to Sunday. We open at 4 o'clock down there during the week. We run till 9. We got daily specials on Facebook on 1886 Prime every day. Beef and Bird, we're bringing in a few new items here and there. I got a new long hot jardinera it's a condiment for the roast beef sandwiches. Nobody's done this. Come down and try this. You can add it to a French dip, or I may even sell an Italian beef sandwich this week. I'm not sure, but it's available.
Very cool. Tucker, great job as always. Thank you, man.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Our Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Representative John Mannion are standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. They know the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Couple of mild days before we start to see the bottom fall out on temperatures once again by the end of the weekend. Not great chances of any precipitation. Lots of sunshine today, very cold start, then near 40 this afternoon. Tonight will cloud over. 32, North Country might be a little bit colder. Another mild day on Saturday, mainly cloudy, low 40s. Could be some snow or snow showers Saturday night with the next Arctic front coming in, leaving us colder on Sunday, mainly cloudy, high just above 20. Could be around 0 by early Monday morning. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, it's that time of year where everybody is out announcing that they're running and running. The one seat that seems to be the hot seat right now is the one currently held by Marianne Buttonshawn, and Mike Gentile is with us here this morning. Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
And you have decided you're going to run for the seat as a Republican. Talk about that a little bit.
I have been doing a lot of soul searching. Obviously we transitioned from my former job and went through the holidays and everything else. And, I know in my heart I want to give back to this community. It's not a retirement gig. It's not something I'm waiting, till I'm 70 to do. It's right now. And I know that I can bring a lot to the table. I know that I've been across this district quite a bit. I know I've listened to a lot of people. And I think I bring a skill set between understanding the city of Utica, the city of Rome, and the cities, but also having knowledge of what's going on in the towns. And I think I'm somebody that can truly represent the people.
Is your opponent 70?
Maybe.
Okay. I was wondering why you mentioned 70.
It just seems like, a lot of times we're sitting here and everybody's like, oh, it's my time to give back. And it's like, well, what have you been doing?
Right.
You know, and it didn't take me that time. I graduated college and I said, how can I help my community? Whether it's been, through Little League, through Landmark Society, whatever it's been, government is, something I've enjoyed. I've been elected, but it's not everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you talk more about that? You said you've been an elected. For those who don't know, what is your experience? And you talk about that skill set and your ability to, your knowledge of the district and how have you acquired that?
Yeah, so for the last 2 years, I was a county legislator. So obviously, I represented a district in North Utica and parts of East Utica. But beyond that, I'm sitting with the board of 23, and we're talking about issues all across the county. So we're seeing the small town stuff. We're seeing stuff in the city. We're talking about social services. We're talking about all of that. And so much of it is important. And the biggest key and takeaway is we're looking at stuff that's happening at the state and how it's affecting the local municipality. So, when we have mandates, when we're talking about social services and we're putting more pressure on our services at the county level, when we're talking about lack of funding with the cities with AIM funding, when we're talking about that, I have direct knowledge of what's actually affecting the community and the people. My opponent was on yesterday, and we talked about solar energy for 20 minutes. You were actually asking him, do you have anything else? And it wasn't, public safety wasn't at the top of his thing. It was, you know what, let the power companies make money. It's not their fault. Let them make more. We have everybody in this district afraid to open their electric bills. And he's there saying, let them make money because we want them to have the best people. They're making record profits. They're not going to stop making money. They're making record profits. And he says, let them do it.
I did think that was an interesting approach.
Yeah.
But I think he was saying is it's the Republican way is that, if you can make money, make money. The problem is, as you said, there's subsidies. There's this little thing called the monopoly on us. So it does make it difficult. And you're right. And I had said, if you think your bill has been high, wait until the next one comes.
Yeah.
Because it's been very cold.
And by the way, if you look at National Grid's on their website, it breaks down this increase that we're experiencing now. This is the front end of a 3-year increase. And they said your bill would go up maybe 20% right now, but in year 3, it's going up 55%. It's only going to get worse.
And I, without taking your time here,
sorry,
we are doing.
I'm not running.
But this is real stuff. This is real.
Yeah.
We can't just sit there and say, let them make money. That's not the problem. We have a responsibility. We have every single constituent is afraid to open their bill.
So let me ask you this: what do you do now? Because the rate hike was approved by the PSC, and it would be a great thing. It would be a storybook movie ending. If at the end of a session in Albany, they came back and they said, you can't have this rate hike where you have to reduce prices, but we all know that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, we really have to have tough discussions. We have to look at ways we can cut. Apparently, one of the big things is the infrastructure. So we can look at ways that we're going to spend money, right? So let's spend money in a way that actually affects the people that we represent. So if we need to put money towards infrastructure to make prices better, let's do it. If we need to, do a tax holiday, let's do it. Let's do real things. We can't just throw our hands up in the air and say, yeah, well, listen, you gotta let them make money. He talks about oversight. He wants government oversight and everything. So let's really do government oversight and do something about it.
I will say, I think the solar thing was there. It is an issue if you're in a community where they're building a new solar farm. For that community, they oftentimes will hold meetings and they'll try to fight it. Sure. And because of the laws,
solar farms and Stewarts, you're going to get people. We're going to get people riled up.
That's fair enough. But at the end of the day, because of the laws that have been passed in Albany, there's nothing you can do. You can try to fight it. I mean, we've seen it in so many different places around the area. You can try to fight it, but at the end of the day, the state says they own the property. They're selling the property, and this is something that we need. And
Right. But he's not about profit for that guy. The person selling the solar, he's not about profit for.
Okay.
The electric company, let's give them all the profit, let them do what they got to do. That's fine.
But not the farmer.
But if it's the farmer that's trying to doesn't have a second generation or third generation to pass the farm to, then
all right, that's fair enough.
So, what other issues have your attention at the state level?
Listen, we have an education system. We have correctional officers. We have public safety is huge. I'm the only one I have experience with not only UPD but understanding the sheriff's department and everything else. But really, we have a labor shortage through everything that we're doing. We talk about education, there's a shortage of teachers. Talk about correctional officers, there's a shortage. Police officers, there's a shortage. And there's a morale issue with everything. We have a retirement system that's broken that people aren't excited to get to. 30 years ago, they were running to a municipal retirement and they wanted it. There's a lot of things. And guess what? I do not know everything. I'm very rarely the smartest person in the room, and I'm going
Clearly,
to listen.
in this room, you're not.
This room, definitely not.
The
Definitely not.
brilliance
Definitely
in this
not.
room is
I actually
just-
thought maybe if there was a chance, it would be this room, but
You did. I know you
but
did.
I mean,
And you may be right.
but really, this is an election to represent people and small business and everything, and we can't just sit there and say we can't tackle that.
So I wanted to ask you because, and I didn't get to this with your opponent.
How could you?
Well,
You asked them.
well,
How many times? Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about?
Mike, you're good today, man.
I'm
You're-
fired up.
you
It's the
are
cold
fired
weather.
up today.
I and this isn't my typical.
It isn't
I'm
you caught
I'm
me off
soft,
guard
and
completely.
I'm fired up because we have somebody running for office that is sitting there and is totally out of touch with what is reality in the 119th
What I was going to ask is, and I did ask, is how do you in the minority? And the answer, I believe his answer is we need to change that. Well, let me just say to everyone out there, and I don't think this is any brilliance coming from my head. If we think we're going to flip the governor, the assembly, or the Senate this year, that's not happening.
Yeah.
It's just the numbers aren't there.
Right.
And maybe the Democrats can come up, or the Republicans come up with a candidate that will challenge Hochul. I just, based on the New York City numbers, that it doesn't add up. Okay, with that said, let's say that it doesn't happen. How do you get anything done as a Republican in the assembly?
It's about building relationships. It's about simple communicating. Really, every bill, everything has a message, and we're not as far apart as people think. We see the rhetoric, and it's the far thing, but we're not. And
Especially upstate.
And-
Democrats upstate, Republicans upstate.
And there's
work very well
there's
together.
ways to collaborate, and there's ways to communicate respectfully and make people understand what really is the struggle. And that's why it's so important to truly understand this district, so you can go to Albany and represent that. You're not representing an ideology, you're representing people. And education isn't just a talking point. Affordability isn't just a talking point. They talk, oh yeah, that's just something people say. No, it's real.
Yeah.
And if you can go down there and you can speak logic and you can communicate logic, if you can take a bill and you can dissect it and give it out to people in a simple way that they can see it. How many times is there a bill and somebody says, oh, can you believe that bill says this? And they're like, nah, no, it doesn't. And then that's the end of the conversation. No, don't worry about it. One side's saying, oh, this is really extreme, and the other side's saying, I would say that every single bill should have, it's like the Bible. You have the English Standard Version. Every bill should have an English Standard Version that a fifth grader can read and
Cliff
understand
Notes. Cliff Notes would be nice.
exactly what it is saying.
Yeah.
The other thing we have to do is we have to stop passing bills through the budget. You look at
How do you
bail
stop
reform.
that, though?
You have to keep communicating it. And that's not something that is a Democrat or Republican idea. That's common sense.
Yeah.
The Democrats are doing it because it's easy. So they can pass bail reform, and then they can come back here and say, I didn't pass bail reform.
Well-
I I voted for $3 billion for school funding.
Right. And that is a major problem in New York. And it's why, when Claudia Tenney was an assemblywoman, she voted no on everything. And the problem is you're now voting no on money for Griffiths or money for SUNY Poly, for Nexus.
And it shouldn't be. The budget should be numbers. Problem. The budget should be numbers. It should be this is what we're taking in, this is what we're putting out, this is what we're funding.
Right. And then policy afterwards.
Right, exactly.
Well, again,
it's hard, but it's effective. It's about effective communication.
Yeah. Lance and Lee's got a two-pronged thing, and you're going to have to. This is going to come up.
Hello, Lance and Lee.
Yeah,
you look fat today, Lance. I don't know what it is.
Things.
Sorry,
he
calling
says,
me fat.
Here's the real question: why were you fired? Or the politically correct way of saying you agreed to resign? Can you talk about this? Your breakup with the city.
You are in a mood.
Breakup.
You are in a mood right now. So
listen, I spent 2 years with the mayor. We got a lot of good things done. It was time. He wanted something different, and he made that decision. Very grateful for that time. I am more prepared for this position having done that position. Wasn't the plan that way, but he made his decision. He wanted something different that wasn't me, and that's what it is.
Do you still communicate with Mayor Gentile? Mayor Gentile.
Well,
Mayor Galini.
What are you throwing there? There's a prediction that you're making?
And then there's one more here from Lance. And I don't know what he says. Without the support of the Republican committee, does he have a chance? Is the committee not backing him? Have they already chosen?
They've absolutely chosen.
Oh,
yeah.
They have.
A small group of people made a decision that they were going with their friend and somebody that they kind of recruited.
One is Rozier's pick and one is not, and you're not Rozier's
into this,
pick.
and I'm not Rozier's pick, and that's okay, because guess what? It's not. Rozier has one vote. From now going forward, he has one vote.
He doesn't have the proxies anymore?
Well, that's done. It's over with. And guess what? You know what? I said it yesterday. I'm not running a primary. I'm running a general election. From this day forward, I'm running a general election. I look forward to being successful in November. There's going to be a hurdle in the middle in June where a bunch of people are going to go to vote, and they're going to understand that I'm the best candidate, and that's how they're going to vote.
So you think you can this is going to be a very interesting do not lose focus on this race, because this is going to be a very interesting race. Yeah. If you're what I'm reading here in your tea leaves is you are the non-Rozier candidate. Your opponent is the Rozier candidate. So this is a referendum on. I mean, is this where we're going?
Listen, I'm not running a referendum.
I'm just saying,
that's what it turns into. That's what it turns into. But that's not my goal.
There'll be no way to walk away from this race.
The chairman
and say that it isn't that to look at it that way.
The chairman of the Republican Party currently has no say in what I do. He had a say in the endorsement. That's over. We move forward, and then I'm planning on being victorious in November.
Did you ever? Were you surprised you didn't get the endorsement?
No. I mean, when my opponent announced that he was running 2 weeks ago on that other station, he said right then he had the endorsement. He said, "I'm already the nominee." It was done. It was over. I went through the process. I do respect the committee. I've been a part of the committee. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter at all, everything else, but it's just one part of it.
But it is a divided committee right now.
Yeah.
All right. And this is a large race. It's not. You're not running in one legislative district. This is Utica and Rome and some surrounding areas as well.
And these places matter, and we have to. We can't just sit on the outside and assume that we know what's best for people. We really have to understand what's going on.
All right. I cannot believe we've gone through this entire conversation and not once did you bring up tariffs. Where do you stand on the tariffs?
Which ones? Which ones?
There's really nothing that can be done. We just all have to sit but from the state level, there's not anything you're going to do with these tariffs.
Right. For sure.
Anything else you want people to know?
No, I just think it's a campaign that's going to really truly be about listening. I meant it when I said I'm not the smartest person in the room. I know people get elected and run for office, and they feel that that's what they need to do, and they need to explain everything at nauseum and everything else. But that's not me. It's never been me.
Okay.
I'm going to listen to the people, and I'm going to create policy based off of that.
Would you take a phone call?
Sure.
Doug is in Lee. Doug, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Doug and Lee?
Doug and Lee.
Is this
Doug and
Lance's
Lee,
neighbor?
Is that Lance and Lee?
Doug, are you snow blowing for Lance right now?
Hey,
Hi,
good
Doug.
morning, guys.
Good morning.
It's Doug, Chairman of the Town of Lee Republican Committee. I just wanted to let Lance know that Lance can't vote in the 119th. This is the 117th up here, guys.
Okay, that's a very good point. If Lance is in Lee, he cannot vote in this race.
Yeah, so I don't know where his opinion falls on this one, but we'll wish Mike all the best of luck and his opponents as well.
All right. Good stuff, Doug. Thank you very much.
Doug.
All right.
I love that call.
Lance, listen, he's correct. I mean,
However, policy will affect everyone.
It
So
does. It
it's
absolutely
understandable that.
and I do think this
Lance
is a big position. This is an important role that has been Democrat, has been a Democratic seat, and has been and is the only other than the sheriff, but in terms of legislature, it's the only Democrat.
It's a seat that I can flip.
Okay.
Okay, and it's a seat I can not only flip but still be effective.
All right.
I know there's that mentality out there. Some people that we need it. That's not the case. I can be effective, and I have the support to do it, and I'm going to be.
All right. First step in the way is that little obstacle called the primary. Actually, the first obstacle is that little thing called. I hope it's not that cold when we have to go out and get signatures.
Yeah.
Because very well it could.
Luckily,
be.
I have a team that's well equipped to deal with the
Get
cold.
out there. All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, Mike
Would you buy
Gentile.
the vest with the little heater in the...
That's my family knew when they got Christmas presents that
Yeah. Man, it's
Here's your campaign starter kit.
They did not expect this was not on the radar. It truly wasn't. But here we are.
Is it possible, and I know this is not your forte, but is it possible that we've been punished since November that with very, very cold weather, that maybe next week is the beginning of an early spring, and the groundhog got it wrong?
I hope you're right there, Bill.
It's interesting.
nice.
When, in 2020, that was the year I was like, I'm going to be organized, and I got a planner, and I was all excited about it, and then COVID hit, and then we never used the planner.
Right.
This year, I bought a new house last year, and I was like, I need a snowblower. I bought a snowblower, and my goal was I'm going to buy the snowblower, and it's going to be a huge waste of money because we're not going to have any snow.
So much for that.
Did not hit that way.
It didn't hit.
But it's gas powered. I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to keep our gas powered snow blowers and lawn mowers and everything else.
I think that's the way to go. I think you have a few good years left in that.
Perfect.
So. All right, Mike, thank you. We appreciate it.
Hurt in a car, call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show, the Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the Fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
Crime is already skyrocketing in 2026. You may already own a firearm, but before you face the financial, legal, and emotional weight of pulling the trigger, there's a smarter option. Byrna. That's BYRNA. Byrna makes less lethal launchers that fire tear gas and kinetic rounds designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to escape and call for help without deadly consequences. Their best-selling compact launcher is sleek, slim, and incredibly powerful. About the size of a smartphone, it's ideal for concealed carry, comfortable, discreet, and confidence building. It fires at 400 feet per second with serious stopping power, enough to shut down a threat fast without the legal and moral complexity of lethal force. Byrna is proudly American. Over 85% of components are U.S. sourced, and every launcher is hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. With over 750,000 sold worldwide, Byrna is best in class, and it's legal in all 50 states. No background checks, shipped straight to your door. Visit Byrna.com today and find the right launcher for your family. That's BYRNA.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first of its kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
We'll quickly transition. This is Investigator Sacco with the New Hartford Police Department, and he is on with us. Each week we check in with local law enforcement to get their wanted person of the week. Again, good morning, Investigator Sacco, and tell us about who you're looking for this week.
Good morning, Bill. We're currently looking for a Jaquana Brown. She was involved in a grand larceny from Victoria's Secrets, which is located in Sangertown Mall. It was her and she was associated with two other females entered the store back in November of 2025 and stole approximately 59 items worth over $2,000.
Wow. Was this one of these situations that we sometimes see video of where they walk in with a duffel bag and just start shoveling items, whether it's fragrances or creams or whatever it might be? They just start filling a duffel bag and they just walk out of the store?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Absolutely.
You said Jaquana Brown, and there were two other individuals involved. Have the two other ladies been charged?
Not at this time, but the case is still under investigation.
Okay. Is she the only one who's been identified, I guess, maybe?
Yes, she has been identified.
All right. Do you have last known address on her? Is this a local person?
We believe she's local to the Utica area. We don't have a confirmed address at this time.
Okay, Jaquana Brown being sought as the wanted person of the week here locally. This involves a robbery that occurred. Am I calling it a robbery?
Larceny.
A larceny that occurred at Victoria's Secret in November of last year. 59 items were taken. And I think many in our audience have seen these videos online and even some of them locally, where a group of individuals will walk in with a duffel bag. Literally, they will just clear shelves out, loading these items into duffel bags, and they walk out the store without a care. And obviously, they sell those on the secondary market, or maybe they use them just because they like to smell good. Maybe that's what it is. Investigator Sacco, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And sorry about the wait. So if anyone has information on that, they can contact the New Hartford Police Department, or they can...
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
First it was Hillary. Bill Clinton's next. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The former president will be questioned today under oath about the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation. Hillary Clinton told the Republican-led House Oversight Committee she never met Epstein.
I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices. So it's on the record numerous times.
Fox's Chad Pergram's in Chappaqua, New York, the Clintons' hometown, where these depositions are taking place.
The committee questioned how Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell used the connections to hide illegal activities. Jeffrey Epstein donated to the Clinton Foundation.
The former president appears in the Epstein files, and so does the current president.
Now, Democrats believe that Bill Clinton's appearance could compel the committee to call President Trump.
Vice President Vance will meet today with Oman's foreign minister the day after he was the mediator in the latest round of U.S.-Iran talks. Iran's foreign minister says,
during these several long and very intensive hours, we made good progress and very seriously entered into the elements of a possible agreement, both in the nuclear field and in the area of sanctions.
President Trump's demanding Iran scale back its nuclear program, or he could take action like last year with a big U.S. military buildup in the region. Meanwhile, as Fox's Jonathan Savage reports, another conflict flares up between Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Our patience has now run out, warns Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Mohammad Asif. The two sides have launched cross-border strikes, and Pakistan now considers the conflict open war. The ongoing dispute concerns alleged Afghan support for armed groups in Pakistan.
President Trump will go to Corpus Christi, Texas today to campaign for Republicans ahead of Tuesday primaries, the day after New York City's mayor went to the White House.
Meeting with President Trump about housing. Mamdani posted a photo of him and President Trump in the Oval Office, writing, "I'm looking forward to building more housing in New York City."
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. America's listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Back to that Trump Mamdani meeting at the White House. New York City's mayor also brought up a Columbia University student taken into custody by immigration agents early yesterday morning at a dorm. The president told him she'd be released, and Elmina Algayeva was hours later. Columbia University's acting president, Claire Shipman, is upset, saying that ICE misrepresented themselves and their mission, breaching protocol going into a residence hall to detain that student. And now an ICE legal case.
A U.S. district judge found the IRS was wrong to share information on tens of thousands of taxpayers with Homeland Security as part of a controversial agreement between the two agencies. The IRS and Homeland Security had a deal to share last known addresses of taxpayer immigrants so ICE could identify and deport people in the U.S. illegally. But the judge said that was a violation of IRS Code 6103, which is one of the strictest confidentiality laws in federal statute. That agreement between the agencies also led to the then acting commissioner of the IRS to resign. No comment on the ruling from the feds yet. Jill Nato, Fox News.
A media bidding war appears to be over for Warner Brothers Discovery.
Paramount Skydance appears to have emerged victorious in its quest to buy the storied Hollywood property after Netflix said it wouldn't match the company's latest offer. The streaming giant nixed the deal soon after the Warner Board of Directors said it determined Paramount's latest offer for the entire company was superior to Netflix's bid for Warner's movie and television studios and HBO Max streaming service. Netflix co-CEOs Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters said in a statement, "We've always been disciplined, and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer, the deal is no longer financially attractive, so we're declining to match." Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
On Wall Street, a sell-off's brewing. Stock futures are down big. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Couple of mild days before we start to see the bottom fall out on temperatures once again by the end of the weekend. Not great chances of any precipitation. Lots of sunshine today, very cold start, then near 40 this afternoon. Tonight will cloud over 32. North Country might be a little bit colder. Another mild day on Saturday, mainly cloudy, low 40s. Could be some snow or snow showers Saturday night with the next Arctic front coming in, leaving us colder on Sunday, mainly cloudy, high just above 20. Could be around 0 by early Monday morning. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
Crime is already skyrocketing in 2026. You may already own a firearm, but before you face the financial, legal, and emotional weight of pulling the trigger, there's a smarter option. Byrna. That's BYRNA. Byrna makes less lethal launchers that fire tear gas and kinetic rounds designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to escape and call for help without deadly consequences. Their best-selling compact launcher is sleek, slim, and incredibly powerful. About the size of a smartphone, it's ideal for concealed carry, comfortable, discreet, and confidence building. It fires at 400 feet per second with serious stopping power, enough to shut down a threat fast without the legal and moral complexity of lethal force. Byrna is proudly American. Over 85% of components are U.S. sourced, and every launcher is hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. With over 750,000 sold worldwide, Byrna is best in class, and it's legal in all 50 states. No background checks, shipped straight to your door. Visit Byrna.com today and find the right launcher for your family. That's BYRNA.com.
Get a smile for every season at Rosansky Family Dentistry. For crowns to veneers, we'll keep you smiling all year long. We're also excited to welcome Dr. Kataria to our team. With her arrival, we now offer Friday appointments from 8 a.m. to noon, giving you more flexibility for the care you need. Call us today at 315-732-1981 to schedule your visit. That's Rosansky Family Dentistry, 1 Paris Road, New Hartford. Find us on Facebook or online at uticasmiles.com.
It's time for a Utica tradition, America's greatest heart run and walk on March 7th. And on March 6th, it's the 55th anniversary of the WIBX Heart Radiothon. Sponsored by the Slocum-Dixon Medical Group this year, the Radiothon started when local runners honored the passing of WIBX personality Ralph Ellinger. They ran for 18 miles and raised money for the American Heart Association. Celebrate with us on March 6th. Hear from Slocum-Dixon doctors about ways to be healthy. Cheer on participants in the Treadmill Challenge and help fight heart disease.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
I want to get some comments in that people have on the video. The Mayor Lanigan, former Mayor Jim Brown. Here is Mike. I saw the video. I love how Julian said it was a spirited discussion. I think there were a lot of spirits there. Okay.
Touche.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Joe says, I think both you and Jeff have the correct analysis of the video. A nothing burger. But we followed by saying this is not something that Mayor Lanigan can do again.
Yeah,
right?
don't make a habit of this for sure.
This is not
a good look.
A good look for the mayor. So, but at the same time, where did this injury? Where did Jim Brown's injury come from? He was showing blood. He was showing pictures.
His arms all wrapped up.
I don't see anywhere, and I realize we only see what we can see, but I don't see anywhere where there was any cuts or abrasions or no pushing his head into the hood of the car, the roof of the car, or when he was putting him in the door. I don't see any of that. And
same. I don't.
Yeah, I don't see any of that.
I do see there was a reference to maybe the arm being scraped up from the window going up and down. But again, from the video, from what I see, that's Jim Brown rolling up the window as Lanigan approaches again. And he rolls it down and he yells something to him. And Lanigan turns around, so he rolls the window up again.
If you remember the press release from Lanigan, from the mayor's office on that Monday, I believe, or Friday, whenever that came out, he had stated in that release that Mayor Brown had injured himself after he gotten home. I don't know I don't know how you would know that. I don't know if that's true either, but I can tell you there's no visual there that shows him being injured.
Agreed.
On the line right now is the attorney, Bob Julian, a legendary attorney, certainly in the region. And Bob, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me.
I apologize if it's embarrassing to call you legendary, but listen, you've been around a long time. You're well known and successful.
Got that right.
I think that fits.
Right.
That fits.
A long time, and the successful part remains to be seen. I'm still in the middle of my career.
That's right. You have a long way to go, and you know they say that you're only as successful as your next case.
That's right.
Yeah. In this case, though, I just have to say I think it was a brilliant way to conclude this by saying, because there was a threat of a civil lawsuit against the city, which would have cost taxpayers. I think for the mayor to say, all right, I'm going to plead guilty, but only if this makes the civil lawsuit go away. I thought that was a good move.
Yes, well, Mayor Lanigan is primarily interested in the well-being of his constituents, and this lawsuit was a distraction and a diversion, and every lawsuit poses a risk. So if you can get a lawsuit to go away for no money against your constituents and yourself personally by pleading to a violation, which is not a crime, it's the equivalent of a traffic ticket, that's a good deal.
Yeah. Well, was there initially there was this this accusation that the former mayor had been cut or injured. He was bleeding. He was showing. There were pictures that were shown. Was that presented? And how did, based on what we saw in the video, how did they say that happened?
Well, the district attorney, special prosecutor Jeff Carpenter, did not charge Lanigan with causing that injury.
Okay.
He only charged Lanigan with inappropriately touching, having physical contact with Brown. And that was the basis of the violation harassment charge. So the source of the injury was not going to be in litigation in terms of the trial as it pertained to any charge against Lanigan. And frankly, I'm with you. I've seen the video. I've worked the case. I'm not really sure how the injury occurred.
Yeah. Do you? At one point, I did see an interview with Brown, who said he's been vindicated. That it was said that he was inebriated, and the trial clearly showed that he was not. Is that true?
No. There was, first of all, there was no trial.
No trial.
And, we're talking
Correct.
about terms of art, and the evidence was that Brown had consumed alcohol both on the golf course and in the clubhouse. That was from a 50H hearing that was conducted based upon the lawsuit he was threatening to bring. There would have been a question of fact as to exactly how much he consumed, and let's understand each other. He's playing golf,
right.
And people who play golf are known to drink alcohol either out on the course or after the game.
Yeah.
I think the point in the issue in terms of this particular case is when Lanigan confronted Brown, I think Lanigan felt that Brown was unsteady for whatever reasons on his feet, and that's why once they were exchanging lines from Shakespeare with each other at the back of the car, that's why Lanigan walked him to the seat because he was just wanted to make sure that, frankly, nothing happened to him, and whether that perceived unsteadiness was accurate, whether it was caused by alcohol or just being surprised, is again a question of fact that we never had to determine because we didn't try the case.
And as you say, I mean, the guy was at a golf tournament. He's retired now. He's allowed to consume alcohol.
And I'm assuming
there's
that
nothing
both,
criminal about that.
I would assume, I would not be shocked if both parties had at least a drink.
Sure.
The other, was there any explanation to you or at any point during a hearing, was it explained about the video at the end? It seemed as if Mayor Lanigan was putting his forearms down almost to the wrists of former Mayor Brown, and putting a little, moving in closer towards him. Is that a police move? Because I was told that it is. And was that discussed at all? I know obviously it didn't go to trial, so maybe
no,
it never.
It didn't go to trial. It wasn't discussed. I think probably his police instincts kicked in again. And, I did not see anything that approached what had been characterized by Mr. Brown as a body slam or, any of the hyperbolic accusations. But clearly the two of them have physical contact with each other. Clearly Lanigan came up from behind Brown, touched him on the back as any of us would do. These are two men who've known each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
Brown supported Lanigan for mayor. Brown turns. They have what appears to me to be the commencement of a heated exchange, and Brown is moved back toward the back of the car, whether by Lanigan or by whatever means, and then Lanigan attempted to, would look to me like, take control over the situation to make sure that no one got hurt.
All right. Any other, and the other part is, had this gone to trial, this would not have been a jury trial.
No, judge trial. And both sides were ready to try the case. And the case, again, the outcome of the trial, if there had been not been a plea, and if it had gone against Lanigan, would have been a violation, which is not a crime. And so with the specter of a lawsuit against the city of Rome, Lanigan, in his official capacity as mayor and personally, remaining. So we felt, again, if you can settle that kind of a case, pleading to a violation and not paying any money, it's a good day's work.
Yeah. So, and potential sentence here for something like this? Will he be in court soon, face a sentence since he pleaded guilty?
No, it was done. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you. It was done. The sentence is a conditional discharge, which means he has to remain. Lanigan has to remain charge-free for a year, as I recollect it, and he is to stay away from Brown, and I don't think either of those will be much of a problem.
Just a quick follow-up there, if I may, because, as you said, Brown had previously supported Lanigan. They're both Republicans. I could see a situation where at a fundraiser or, dare I say, a golf tournament for something that is politically involved, what do you tell Mayor Lanigan? Just don't go to these events, or?
No, all he has to do is
just stay clear.
Stay away, and having spent 23 years as the leader of the Republicans in the Oneida County Legislature, I've been in various situations where people have spit at me, put their finger in my chest, screamed in my face, and I may have responded in like. So I don't. While I understand that there's a certain novelty and amusement over this because of the office Brown once held and the office Mayor Lanigan presently holds, in and of itself, the behavior, but for the walking to the car, which I think again was a reflex police protective matter, the behavior was not extraordinary if one has spent time in local politics.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I did have a police officer who asked not to be identified say that based on what he saw, and knowing that a judge was overseeing this and it would not be a jury, that he felt there would be no way that based on the video, there would be no way that Lanigan would have been found guilty.
I don't. I could have used that insight prior to the trial.
Well, he asked me not to use his name, so I apologize.
Yeah, no. I'm kidding. Yeah. Listen, I've tried a lot of cases, and I've lost cases that I felt I should have won, and I've won cases that I thought I should have lost. I can't really predict the outcome of this case. I think Lanigan had a reasonable story. The bar for harassment is quite low, which is something meaning really all you need is unwanted physical contact for a harassment charge to be upheld. But at the end of the day, even if Lanigan had won the trial, the specter of the lawsuit remained because, again, the standard for harassment is different from the standard for assault and battery. And so in the context of all of the facts, I think Mayor Lanigan properly made the judgment that he would enter into the plea to the violation, which is not a crime because it's protective of the city of Rome, and I think he felt that was his first obligation to make sure that there's no expense to the taxpayers.
All right. Okay, Robert Julian, we appreciate your time tremendously. Thank you so much for coming on this morning and giving us your take on all of this.
All right, gentlemen, have a good day. Take care.
You do the same. Have a great holiday as well. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bob Julian.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted, it works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Our Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Representative Elise Stefanik are standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. They know the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Couple of mild days before we start to see the bottom fall out on temperatures once again by the end of the weekend. Not great chances of any precipitation. Lots of sunshine today, very cold start, then near 40 this afternoon. Tonight will cloud over. 32, North Country might be a little bit colder. Another mild day on Saturday, mainly cloudy, low 40s. Could be some snow or snow showers Saturday night with the next Arctic front coming in, leaving us colder on Sunday, mainly cloudy, high just above 20. Could be around 0 by early Monday morning. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Can I just
I have some comments that I can throw in here too.
My 2 cents is worth. I actually disagree with your cop friend. I do think that satisfied the harassment charge. He goes up, he puts his hands on him, and again, it's not anything near what I thought it was.
I
don't know that he should be allowed to.
I'm not saying that people should put their hands on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, according to his expertise, which I do not have.
Sure.
So this is not coming from me.
I'm also just a layman.
I'm not saying it should or shouldn't have been or would or wouldn't have been. I'm saying according to this police officer, he said it would not have been. It would not have been. A judge would not have convicted, if you will. I mean, we're talking about very, very low, not even criminal. That he would have been found not guilty, according to him and his experience. I don't know what constitutes harassment and what doesn't. I do think that there have been a few times I've probably said in my lifetime, "Hey, you're harassing me. You better stop it." A few comments. You want them?
Yes, please.
This is Donna. I know neither of these guys. Looking at the video, I only saw two guys in a heated discussion. I saw no assault.
Nobody said assault, though.
Well, I think in the beginning that was the charge.
Okay, but
with the videos, with the pictures of the bloodied arm or whatever that was.
Yeah, I thought it was undercharged, but based on the video, no, I don't think that.
Now you don't think that.
No.
Yeah. So initially you thought, I can't believe they only charged him with harassment. That was a gift. But now after watching the video, there should have been no other. The only thing they could have charged him with would be harassment.
Correct.
Okay, fair enough. I saw no assault here. If the one guy was hurt, then he did it to himself to get money. Anyone, especially a judge or DA, that couldn't see that is an idiot. I like Donna, who just puts it out there the way it is from her perspective.
Love it.
Joe, the real story is Joe Rakowski. And I was going to bring this up. The real story is how Rozier used Brown to try and dismantle the party by promoting Brown's story without the facts. First Kim Rogers, then Lanigan and Pisani. His use of party funds to try to get the video out shows his intent to remove elected officials that the people voted for. And that is a very interesting part of this story, because at every step of the way, Brown was with Rozier. Whether it be on his show or Rozier trying to fight to get the video out. This is the county chair of the Republican Party, clearly, as Joe said, trying to dismantle these elected officials. That shouldn't be ignored here, that this was hyper political when you really dig in and look at it. I'm just saying.
By his own hand, though. Lanigan's, I'm sure he knows this now.
There's no one here saying that what Lanigan did was right.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
No, and I didn't suggest you were.
He should know, like I've always been told by my wife very sternly, don't put yourself in that situation.
Yes.
Okay. I saw the video. I love how Julian said it was a spirited discussion. Mike says Lanigan made a mistake by sending a letter to Brown on city letterhead. It put the city at risk. And I would not disagree with that. Nancy, don't forget that Brown showed up on top of the talk of the town with his arm bandaged up, looking like he was severely hurt.
What is that? Jim Brown, what is that?
I swear to God, Ken Rozier's signature was on the bandage. I could be wrong.
It's like in high school, they signed your cast.
Hey, you want to sign my cast? It's not a cast, it's a bandage. Here, just sign around the blood. Go right around the blood. You'll see the dried blood.
I don't know where that came from. I've got some here, too. When you say Lanigan's posture was preventing Brown from acting, I'd say it was intimidating and inviting a confirmation.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm saying that a police officer said that was a move that would be used to prevent someone from being able to flail their arms or hit them back. I'm just saying what a police officer said, and that's why I asked the question.
John continues, if this was a law enforcement tactic, it shows why people don't trust the police. This, in my opinion, would be a bad cop. Now, I disagree with John. Anyway, for whatever that's worth. Cindy says, what does the driver for Jim Brown have to say? I think he for sure knows exactly what happened. Why haven't we heard from the driver? Now, this would be... Once Brown is helped to his vehicle, the car pulls off immediately. He's put in the passenger seat, and then the vehicle pulls off. So there was somebody else right there.
I was told about this, too, because I said, the driver had to have heard something. Or his statement to the judge was, well, they never got that far, but his statement was, I don't know, I had my earbuds in. I was listening to Genesis. Or whatever, Sinatra. What I was told about that is the problem with this is that many of the people, witnesses, those involved, et cetera, are friends with both Lanigan and Brown. So this became very difficult for a lot of people. Now, there are those that have their sides, right? And then there are those who are friends with both. And that can make things a little difficult. I'm not sure what the driver would have said.
You want Lance here?
Yeah.
What a surprise. Bill taking the side of Lanigan. So if a younger guy attacks his father or father-in-law, that would be okay.
I did not take his side.
Yeah, and
I'm just saying what we're seeing. I'll say it again. This is not a good look. Yeah. And I hope that the mayor realizes that something like this can't happen again.
Yeah.
You can't take matters into your own hands. I said it earlier. But let's not take it, Lance, further than what it is. You want this to be some sort of an assault, and it isn't. Look at the video. It's just not there. And it does seem that Mr. Brown made accusations that he had been bleeding and he was caught because of what happened. We see no evidence of that. So I'm sorry. We're just saying what we're seeing, not who we like or dislike. Like you, Lance. You're clearly tainted in this. You have an opinion based on whatever your relationship is with these two guys.
And he's allowed to. He also went on to say Lance says that Lanigan knew his goose was cooked. That's why he pleaded guilty. That's what he says.
But even if his goose was cooked, it isn't even it's not criminal. It would be like Bob Julian said, it would have, at the very worst case, he would have been found guilty of harassment, which is like getting a speeding ticket.
Want one more? Unrelated. And this is as we look to the future. Is Jimmy Fallon coming on February 7th? If so, where can I get my tickets?
I will make a phone call again to the Rome Capitol. I'm waiting right now. I'm waiting for the Rome Capitol to put the tickets on sale.
Stay tuned. Tickets are soon.
I have been waiting
released.
for these tickets to go on sale for 30 days now. I'm just going to say it. We got to get these tickets on sale. I'm losing the opportunity to be able to promote this show before Christmas so people can get tickets as Christmas gifts.
Bill, go help them to the ticket booth. Go help them.
I may have to.
Smitty, get out there.
So, people are yelling at me about this. I can't make this go any faster. I am doing the best that I can. And I'm hearing from Jimmy. He's like, I want to go on the air and say tickets are on sale. I'm hoping that it'll be this week.
John in Deerfield, public officials and officers ought to be held to a higher standard ethically and legally. There is too much of a boys' club going on in law enforcement and government. John, you could be correct. That's your opinion for sure. But again, this case was referred to a neighboring county to avoid any implication of favoritism.
And the DA, who became the special prosecutor, charged him.
Correct.
Charged Lanigan. But the question that I would ask is, should a public official be charged anything more than a regular citizen would be charged? Just because I do believe that you're held to a higher standard.
Yes.
But that is not legally held to a higher standard. That would be, we hold our politicians to a higher standard, which, by the way, in America, we don't do that anymore. I'm sorry, we don't. But basically, we expect more, and in the voting booth, you'll see the result of that when I don't vote for you. I agree with that. But someone shouldn't be charged more than what they should be charged because they're wealthy or they have some sort of power or they are, even when it comes to a sentence, the judge has now he may be able to say, I could charge you anything from here to here. This would be anywhere from 2 years to 10 years in prison for whatever. And a judge may say, based on the fact that you were trusted by the public, that I'm throwing the book at you, and the sentence is going to be a maximum sentence. That's how that would work. But in this case, should we charge Lanigan with more than what he actually did? No. That just doesn't. That wouldn't be right.
If this was a sitcom, the judge's sentence in this case would have been, I sentence you both to the mayor's office to come to joint decisions and work together for the next 2 to 10 years.
And the other part of this is with Mayor Lanigan. I didn't work for Lanigan. I actually worked on Jackie Izzo's campaign.
Correct.
I feel like we have a good working relationship at this point. He'll come on and we can ask him questions.
Yes.
But we don't hang out. There's zero favoritism here. You just call it like you see it. And I'm telling you, based on what I saw, it's not as bad as what I thought. I don't think it's good. I do not think it's a good look, and I hope the mayor never does something like this again.
Yeah.
Stay out of this of a scenario. But I don't feel somebody should be sent off to jail for what happened there.
What was the arm injury? I don't understand.
The arm
where that
injury,
came
I
from.
really wondered about. Ann in Rome. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning. I just want to say I actually know them both very well. I worked for them in a city capacity, so I've worked and been friends with them. My thing is, if one of my friends was, hey, Ann, you're great, and all of a sudden starts bashing me, and I saw them out, I would do the same thing. I'd say, hey, and if you just walked away, if you're big enough to go on the radio and bash me, tell me to my face, what did I do? And I think that's what the whole thing went. That's what it was all about.
However, Ann, to be fair, you would agree with us saying the mayor's got to make sure he doesn't find himself in these situations again.
Right. But
Better off just walking away and not even dealing with
it. If
it.
it were you and I, Bill, I'd walk up to you, and if you walked away and didn't say anything, I'd put my hand on you and say, Bill, talk to me. And that's what it was. It was two friends that had a heated argument.
Yeah.
The difference is Jeff cares enough about the city to take the shot, and Jim doesn't care about the city because he was ready, didn't care if my taxes were going to go up, and I supported him, okay? You don't care if my taxes go up because it's all about you getting some money. Guess what, Jim? Do us all a favor. You live in Florida, stay there. Nobody's going to miss you.
Okay. All right, Ann. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you're
Ann, call back and tell us how you really feel, please.
You're
Okay.
holding back on your comments. That's good.
Have a good day, guys.
All right, Ann. Thank you.
Fink Rat in Little Falls says Jim Brown has a very thin skin, so maybe just touching it caused that damage.
That's also very possible. Listen, it is what it is, and it's over. So if you are Lance, if he is so bothered by this, then I guess how he votes in the next election will be the result of his feelings, how he feels right now, right?
Yes.
That's kind of the way it works here.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center, who are the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted, it works, it's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
If you're like most Americans nearing retirement with money in a 401k or IRA, then listen carefully. The U.S. dollar is under pressure. Foreign nations are reducing reliance on the dollar, and some analysts are openly warning about the long-term stability of U.S. currency dominance. Whether you call it currency debasement or the collapse of the dollar, the risk is real. And when confidence in the U.S. dollar shifts, gold and silver historically respond. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit. You'll also receive a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Most American retirement accounts are dramatically underallocated to precious metals, even as central banks continue buying gold at record levels. Many Americans are rolling over a portion of their retirement savings into physical gold and silver, tax and penalty-free with Advantage Gold. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. 1-800-900-8000.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right, we're back. First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX. We hope to have Bill back tomorrow, although it might not be until Wednesday. But Smitty and I are plugging along. Joining us in studio is Kristen Burgoyce. Did I say that right?
You got it.
She is the chair of this year's America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. Very exciting.
Very excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're just about a week away, a week and some change. The Heart Radiothon will be next Friday. And then, of course, what's that, Smitty? Why are you shaking your head? Did I say something wrong? You can jump in. Okay. The Heart Radiothon will be next Friday. And then, of course, America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk on Saturday. So how did you get involved in this and the Heart Run and Walk?
Well, I've been a longtime participant myself personally in honor of my late grandpa who did die from cardiac disease. And then for a few other reasons, I have a great team with Marie and Heather and all of them that are backing the Heart Run and Walk to make it what it has been for so many years in our community. But also Adirondack Bank has been a long time participant and sponsor for the walk, so I have their support in doing so, which is great to have.
You said you've walked before. Have you had a team?
I have. Yes, Team Everett in honor of my grandfather, and also Adirondack Bank has been growing our team year over year as well.
Sure. Talk about what we can expect, those who aren't familiar with it, or we're going back to Utica College now. Talk about what the weekend includes.
Absolutely. So at Utica University on Friday, March 6th, you can expect the Healthy for Good Expo. That is where the Radiothon takes place there. And we have the very infamous treadmill challenge that goes on. They've expanded to 4 treadmills this year to increase participants and the friendly competition that takes place. So that runs from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The expo itself is open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. There's going to be a lot of different vendors set up there, sponsorships. We'll have health screenings from MVHS, lots of heart healthy activities going on. And if you haven't registered yet, that's a great opportunity to do so.
Talk about Saturday, the big walk, and there's some runners, of course, as well.
Absolutely. So we'll be there, Utica University, for the America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. That morning, a lot of logistics. So the road closures will take place. We recommend that people arrive to the Utica University campus by 8 if possible. Registration opens as early as 8 a.m. One of the biggest things that we've been so excited about this year is that the bandshell for the start of the race has been moved off of the main road there down onto the campus itself. There's a berm, so it'll help kind of shield us all from that harsh wind that we had last year. But we're all also keeping our fingers crossed for a beautiful sunny day. So.
I'm with you. I checked this app. I was complaining about this morning. I don't even know if this is just comes on the iPhone app or if I downloaded it at one point. Right now, and this will change 48 times between now and next week. Right now, it is saying next Friday. Oh, I hope this is true. There's a snowflake icon there, but it says a high of 50 degrees next Friday for the Radiothon. And then for Heart Run and Walk Saturday, it says 56.
That's amazing. That's music to my ears.
Now, listen, by lunchtime today, when I check this app, it'll say a high of 19 with 4 feet of snow because this changes constantly. I don't know how often they update their models or why there's such a variance. But right now, it's saying next weekend's going to be a great weekend to get out and take part in the event.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for that.
What else do we want to mention here? It's not too late to sign up, right?
It's not. No, you can sign up right to the day of. Now is a great time to do it if you have the opportunity. You can go to, I'll get you the web address here. I believe it's uticaheartrunandwalk.org. And you can register. You can register as an individual participant. You can register a team, anything right up to the last minute. And we'd love to have people join us.
Can you talk about the money raised during the event the whole weekend, where that money goes and whether or not it's invested back into the local community?
Absolutely. That's always a big question. So since 1949, the Heart Association has funded more than $6.1 billion in research nationwide. But everybody is very curious about how that gets invested back into our local community. So in the Mohawk Valley specifically, funding $160,000 in research at Masonic Medical Research. We've put recess kits into 10 schools into the Mohawk Valley to help promote heart-healthy activities. We've done many CPR experiences throughout the community, growing our nation of lifesavers. Recently, we've put 3 blood pressure kiosks in different public locations that attract a high volume of visitors. The Heart Association staff has offered so many CPR experiences, and we've also collaborated with the UCFC soccer team to help raise awareness about the need for hands-only CPR and the difference that can make in saving somebody's life.
Yeah, it's so important to have not only this technology and these resources at places where the community tends to gather, and it can help save a life, but it is still the number one killer. I think not only in the U.S. but globally, the number one killer, heart disease and stroke. So it is so important, and it affects so many people.
It absolutely does. It does not discriminate.
And like you said, even unfortunately, you have a personal story where your grandfather passed away. So we appreciate you. I know it's a lot. I've been heavily involved in this in years past. Not so much this year. I think Smitty is taking the brunt of the meetings and the planning that goes into it.
You are correct.
And but Smitty's happy to do it, and I was always happy to do it as well. But it is a lot to take on, so we're really grateful. Thank you for doing it. I hope I don't say your name wrong again. I think I called you Kristen. No, it is Kristen.
It is Kristen.
What did
you can call me that.
What did I call her coming into the segment?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know if I called you Kathy. I don't know. But Kristen Burgoyce, thank you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me.
Chair of this year's America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. Next Friday, the Radiothon from 6 to 6. And as Kristen mentioned, we'll have 4 treadmill challengers on the treadmill taking steps each hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We encourage you to call in and make a donation. 624-WIBX. That number is unchanged. 624-9429. That's next Friday. And, of course, Saturday, America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk. We are good. Thank you so much. I'll see you a lot next weekend.
Sounds great. Hope to see you there.
Really appreciate your time.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Let's face it, no one looks forward to hiring contractors to work on their home. The mess, the hassle, the back and forth. But it's all part of the process, right? Wrong.
Scott and Jill here at New York Sash, where we give you the smoothest, the cleanest, the most painless window, siding, bath, or door renovations in Central New York. We call it our worry-free remodeling.
We understand the dread usually associated with home remodels, over-budget products, behind-schedule installations, outside financing hiccups, and we say, no way.
Instead, we're a full-service remodeler to make your project that much easier. We handle everything from initial design to financing, and we never outsource our installations with subcontractors. We use only full-time New York Sash employees. We even have our own service department to stand behind our warranties.
Home remodeling doesn't have to be a stressful experience. At New York Sash, it's anything but. For windows, siding, baths, or doors, call New York Sash at 624-7344 or online at newyorksash.com.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show, the Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the Fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
An odd transition here. I apologize, but Fox News Radio's Jeremy Rosenthal joins us now on the phone for the Rosenthal Report. Good morning, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Good. No bill in this morning, but we continue along anyway. What's the story today? This involves AI, and I think we're going to see a lot more cases and lawsuits tied to artificial intelligence. But can you explain what this one is?
Right. So first off, we got to make clear that before AI takes all the lawyer jobs away, it will provide us a lot of work litigating it. Right. So AI will give us and it will take away. Yes. From the legal profession. But unless you're one of those lawyers that's in on the action, you're kind of like me on the sideline, just sort of kind of analyzing it, but a lot of crazy stuff going on. The issue here is whether something you research on an open AI platform is privileged. And privilege sort of turns on your expectation of privacy and whether or not you're communicating to a lawyer in private, or even whether you're doing something on your own computer for the purposes of your own legal representation. And the court basically said when you're shouting down the hallway and telling everybody on the planet what you're looking at, which is what you're doing with AI, that it's not privileged.
So what is your take on that? Because
yeah. So, okay, there's a couple different things. There's a couple different ways to look at it. And what happened in this case, and this is a case where a federal district judge, basically what happened was, this is a civil lawsuit. The person did some research on ChatGPT and then gave it to his lawyer. And then the other side wanted it, and the lawyer says, this is privileged. The guy gave it to me. It's privileged. And the court said, no, it's not, because the way it was created was, again, kind of shouting down the hallway, right, if you will, which to me is a little wonky. And this may be kind of a bit of a screwball opinion, because think of it like this. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I get emails all the time that my client Googled an article and said, Jeremy, what do you think of this? And that's privilege. To me, that's privilege because it's my client's train of thought and it's a communication to me. Now, his Google search, if the FBI is raiding his house and takes his computer, that the Google search is not privileged, but him giving it to me, I think is. So I think this is a bit of a wonky opinion.
Interesting. What is the implication? And again, what was the case again?
I believe it was a civil case in federal district court, and it was a lower court ruling, which means that I don't know that we're going to necessarily see this specific issue appealed, but AI is more and more prevalent in the legal profession by the day. I think that practitioners who candidly don't use it are going to be sort of behind the curve. The dangers with AI, as far as the legal profession goes, I think can be eliminated by diligence, right? If I'm asking an open platform, what is the whatever, right? And it lies to me because that's the danger, right? AI will lie to you. So let's say it lies to you. Okay, fine. Well, when I'm reading those cases that it's giving me, it's got to pass the smell test, and we have to double check it for those parts. But when you're looking at these things, if AI is going to give you a 15-page brief, 5 pages might be crud, but the other 10 pretty good and save you time and save your client money.
Yeah, to be honest, I hadn't thought about what you said earlier about AI replacing attorneys. I guess I'm still not sold on that, but boy, have there been any cases? Well, I know we've seen it in what was it? RFK, the report there, the thing he sent out where it was citing false information or making up information.
Oh, which one?
Yeah. Has this happened in legal application yet?
Oh, yes. No, for sure. And what happens is courts are actually requiring lawyers to disclose when it is that they're using AI. And yeah, no, the AI can hallucinate. And it's getting better. I use AI a lot, and it's getting better. And look, when I ask AI a question, and I say, "Tell me, what does the tax code have a soul?" Right? And what happens if 1 + 2 + 7? If I ask it a question,
okay,
and I kind of know the answer already, or I think I kind of know the answer already, but I'm just not 100% on it, I can read it and I can say, okay, I know that case, yes. I know that case, yes. I know that case, yes. And then I look at it and I say, okay, the Dallas Court of Appeals ruled on this identical issue in 1983, and I never knew about it. Let's double check that one. And then, yeah, sure enough, that's a bad apple. So those are the types of things that sort of happen. And I think the more we know that that's the danger, I think the more courts and lawyers are on the lookout for it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It is scary. I'm more scared of AI than an asteroid, to be honest with you. Or something pummeling the earth.
You and Mrs. Rosenthal both. There's a lot of people don't trust it. We're sort of indoctrinated from the Terminator movies. But look, maybe they'll serve us cocktails on the beach before they destroy us. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would make it just all better. That would just fix all the problems.
It's not setting the bar very high, though.
No.
Well,
for sure.
I mean, look, we may as well get something out of it, right?
Yes. Jeremy Rosenthal, appreciate your time as always. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
You too.
WIBX Utica Road, W295
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
If you want to leave, go today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the message the U.S. ambassador in Israel is telling embassy staff in an email this morning, that there may not be flights out in the coming days. This amid a buildup of American military forces in the Middle East, and the day after the latest round of talks between the U.S. and Iran. Fox's Jillian Turner's at the State Department.
The two sides spoke for hours, mediated by officials from Oman. So far, U.S. officials are radio silent, but Iran's foreign ministry is talking.
Conflicting statements made by some American officials will continue to cast doubts and questions.
President Trump is demanding Iran scale back its nuclear program, that they can't build a weapon.
Also on the U.S. agenda, Iran's ballistic missile program, its human rights abuses, including the regime's murder of tens of thousands of civilian protesters last month, and its support of terrorists.
And not far away, Pakistan is now saying it's in an open war with Afghanistan. After attacks on both sides of the border, Pakistani airstrikes overnight hit the capital, Kabul, and other Afghan provinces. Former President Bill Clinton will be questioned today by the House Oversight Committee about the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation, the morning after his wife spent hours behind closed doors. And Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
After the deposition, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said she did not know Jeffrey Epstein personally and that she had only known his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, as an acquaintance. She was asked, given that Bill Clinton's name appears in the Epstein files, if she was confident he knew nothing about Epstein's crimes.
The chronology of the connection that he had with Epstein ended several years before anything about Epstein's criminal activities came to light.
Democrats want the committee to also question President Trump about his showing up in the Epstein files. Today, the president goes to Corpus Christi, Texas, campaigning for Republicans ahead of primaries Tuesday. America's listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S. Ethos.com/Mike.
A father who is on trial in Georgia will testify today in the case against him that stems from the deadly school shooting blamed on his son.
The prosecution called 65 witnesses in their case against Colin Gray, the father of Colt Gray. He's the teen accused of killing 4 in 2024 in Georgia. Investigators testified Colin Gray, who faces nearly 30 charges, including 2 counts of second-degree murder, bought firearms and ammo, even as he worried about his son's behavior. Prosecutors showed surveillance footage from the day of the shooting Thursday. School cameras show Colt Gray looking like he's carrying a gun in his backpack. Now the teen's father is facing 180 years in prison. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Today in court in Los Angeles, the plaintiff who had sued social media platforms will resume testifying.
The plaintiff, KGM, revealing she started using YouTube at 6 years old and Instagram at 9, describing how the platforms made her feel socially withdrawn and depressed. Detailing using beauty filters often, cutting herself at 10, and being diagnosed with body dysmorphia by 13, explaining the apps caused me to compare myself to other people. The now 20-year-old went on to say if she didn't get many likes on a post, she'd feel sad and stupid and would stay on platforms despite being bullied for fear of missing out. Lawyers for Meta and Google asking her about previous online statements where she described being sad and her mother fat-shaming her. KGM at one point responding her mom was concerned, describing how medication she was on impacted her weight. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Netflix is out, ending its attempt to buy Warner Brothers Discovery after losing a bidding war to another media giant, Paramount's Skydance. Netflix refusing to match Paramount's increased offer of $31 per share for the entire company. And Netflix only wanted the Warner movie and TV studios and HBO streaming. On Wall Street, ahead of an inflation update, a sell-off is looming with falling futures. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox.
Couple of mild days before we start to see the bottom fall out on temperatures once again by the
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Winter has officially taken over, and the cold isn't playing around. Though the weather is frigid, the deals at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer are on fire. If your ride isn't ready for snow, ice, and everything Central New York throws at it, it's time to turn up the heat with a brand new Chevy from Steve Pawnee. Right now, drive a 2026 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $319 a month. Need more muscle? Get into a 2026 Chevy Colorado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive with the towing package for only $299 a month. Or go big with a 2026 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, just $399 a month. Warm up to a better ride today at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet. Customer must qualify top tier credit with GM Financial and qualify for the GM car. Equinox and Silverado must have Chevy lease with GM Financial and household and $3,000 down. Colorado must have select vehicle and household and $1,000 down. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. Must take delivery by February 28, 2026. See dealer for details.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at InserasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Looking for an insurance agency that treats you like family? Look no further than WB Payne Insurance, a family-owned and operated agency serving the community for over 65 years. At WB Payne Insurance, they understand that family comes first, and they're here to protect what matters most to you. Whether it's your home, your car, or your business, they've got you covered. WB Payne Insurance. Learn more or get a quote today by visiting WBPayneco.com. WB Payne Insurance, protecting your family like it's their own, with smart solutions to save you money.
Couple of mild days before we start to see the bottom fall out on temperatures once again by the end of the weekend. Not great chances of any precipitation. Lots of sunshine today, very cold start, then near 40 this afternoon. Tonight will cloud over. 32, North Country might be a little bit colder. Another mild day on Saturday, mainly cloudy, low 40s. Could be some snow or snow showers Saturday night with the next Arctic front coming in, leaving us colder on Sunday, mainly cloudy, high just above 20. Could be around 0 by early Monday morning. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
If you've missed the Kim Commando.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, coming up this weekend, River Valley Church in Ilion, 82nd Street in Ilion, is doing a drop-off for shoes, gently worn or new shoes, to help the homeless. These will be sent overseas, and all proceeds support RVC's outreach program for the homeless. They, in the cold tomorrow, they're going to have a bunch of people out there ready to, you just drive up. You don't have to even get out of your car. You pop your trunk. They'll take the shoes. It's tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. at River Valley Church, 82nd Street in the village of Ilion. Okay, on the line right now is Mike Kowalczyk. Mike is with Collis, and as a matter of fact, used to be with Utica Boilers some time ago. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. Which I bring that up because it means you know your boilers and your furnaces, and we've seen it firsthand in our own home, and I really appreciate the fact that we now have a new furnace, because this is really being put to the test right now. Heating mechanisms throughout the region with this deep cold that we've been through for quite a while.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You know, carbon monoxide is just a huge factor when it comes to our heating appliances that we have in our home. You know, and like as you said, with the weather that we've had in the last month or so, but on an average, our heating appliances, you know, run 8 months out of the year here in Mohawk Valley. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's always something to be conscious of when it comes to the correct running of those appliances.
Now, the new furnaces, do they come with some sort of a shut-off if there's a carbon monoxide problem?
No, I mean, the new furnaces have a lot of safety switches. They have a lot of, you know, if the vent is blocked, they will shut the system off.
Got it. Okay.
If they have pressure switches in the system, so if the units aren't operating to their full capacity, they will throw codes. They will shut things down. But no one ever wants to think that with a brand new furnace or brand new hot water boiler that's going into someone's home today, that there's a safety factor there. There's nothing. And it's not like there's just nothing more important than having your equipment serviced professionally by a company that's going to come in and check for cracks in the heat exchanger, blocked heat exchangers. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with that furnace, that boiler. And even though there are some safety switches on them today compared to what we had 30 years ago, there's still nothing like a good inspection on it and every single year.
Yeah. Now, would you recommend let's say you have a basement, first floor, second floor. Would you recommend a carbon monoxide alarm on each floor? Should it be on one floor? What is the recommendation?
Yeah, we like to see carbon monoxide detectors on every level of the home. Basement, first floor. If it's a ranch, basement, first floor, second floor, where the bedrooms are, absolutely. Yeah. The carbon monoxide, you know, as I said to our customers, carbon monoxide detectors are wonderful. You know, you got to have them in the house. You got to make sure that they're properly installed, that they're properly up to date. You know, a lot of people put these carbon monoxide detectors in, and all of a sudden you blink and it's, 10 years later,
right?
And the carbon dioxide detectors just aren't working correctly.
What about
working at all?
What about the system that's wired in?
Wonderful. Yeah.
And do they need updates? Do you need to check them every 10 years, or how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so the ones that are hardwired in certainly are systems that, what's nice about a hardwired system is that, say it detects carbon monoxide in the basement. Well, when they're all wired in together, the second floor carbon monoxide will go off too. So that's a nice feature on some of those. And usually those are put in, through security companies. Mm-hmm. And it's our understanding that a lot of times those security companies are doing a annual check on those, just like we're doing it on the heating equipment.
Really is in the other thing that happens. I listen. It was maybe 2 years ago. We had a cold right around New Year's Day. It got very, very cold. Our furnace went, and I made the phone call to you, and you were immediately trying to set us up where we needed a portable heater, that sort of thing. That stuff you have to be very careful with. You got to make sure you're using something that should be used indoors. I mean, what are the warnings you give to people with these portable heaters?
Yeah, portable heaters can be real dangerous. These vent-free, a lot of times people talk about vent-free equipment. That's venting right into your house. That is, the electric space heaters that the space heaters we use for our customers in emergency situations, are electric space heaters. So they're designed, the ones we use, to not, to work to a certain level. But my customers know that when we're in an emergency situation, if they're leaving the house, they need to turn them off or set them on low around their water pipes. I mean, space heaters can be a real problem for our customers.
Even your dryer, leaving your dryer running while you leave the house.
Absolutely, the dryer. People do it with their stove. It's all kinds of things when you walk into a house and you see these things. And I understand they're trying to prevent pipes from bursting and things of that nature. But you can really start to open a can of worms while doing stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm assuming that if anybody wanted some sort of an inspection, that you guys are available to do that at Collis.
Absolutely. If you haven't had your furnace or boiler, your hot water heater, if you haven't had these things inspected for some time, please give us a call. It's this time of year, and the way they're not shutting off, they're running consistently. You just want to make sure they're safe and sound.
Yep. Okay, Mike. As always, we appreciate it. And whenever you see that Collis truck driving around, Mike's almost always in it. I don't know how you cover such ground, but you do.
I appreciate it, Bill. Thank you so much.
All right, Mike. Thank you. That's Mike from Collis. Good man. And Wayne, good morning. Hi, Wayne. You have a story on furnaces.
Hey, Bill, I would appreciate if you use the Casey Kasem voice when you break into me.
Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's Wayne with a long-distance dedication. It's not very good, but it's the best I can do.
It's good enough. A lady that I do some work for turned around and had a problem where her heat shut down automatically like that. She called it wasn't Collis, it was somebody. She called them and they came over. They charged her $395 to take the snow away from the pipe and to kick it back on.
Yeah, listen, I know that's rough.
$395, and she's like an older lady. She's like 80. Yeah.
It's a shame you didn't have a neighbor that could. But I got to tell you, I've had it happen with our dryer where then the dryer will kick off. It's a gas dryer. It'll kick off and won't work because the vent got blocked. So there I am trying to manage myself, walking around through the snow in my house last night, making sure the furnaces in our house are the vents are clear, and they were. But man, you got to check it. You got to check it.
Yeah, it was the neighbors that were doing, because the driveways are narrow over there, and they were taking and throwing their snow up against her house, almost up to the bottom of her windows, and they didn't care. They were covering dryer vent, the heater vent, and everything. So now when I go over there, I make sure it's all clear.
Yeah.
But this was after the fact,
You know what you ought to do is go over there with a plow and plow right up to their property. Right into their house. Give me a break.
He who does unto you.
That's right. You're owed a little favor here. So, all right, Wayne. Good stuff. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
You do the same. That is Wayne. Crazy story, right?
It is crazy.
But and I realize, this is an awful story. But if you don't take this if we don't take this as a lesson, we're making a mistake, and I don't think you can be too. So we have the wired in smoke, heat, and carbon monoxide alarms.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50-50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
Couple of mild days before we start to see the bottom fall out on temperatures once again by the end of the weekend. Not great chances of any precipitation. Lots of sunshine today. Very cold start. Then near 40 this afternoon. Tonight will cloud over. 32. North Country might be a little bit colder. Another mild day on Saturday. Mainly cloudy, low 40s. Could be some snow or snow showers Saturday night with the next Arctic front coming in, leaving us colder on Sunday. Mainly cloudy, high just above 20. Could be around 0 by early Monday morning. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
All right, in studio right now is Ed Schmidt. I call you a police consultant. Tight on that mic there.
Well, I'm into
your training. You do a lot of
justice
stuff
training.
with the schools.
Yeah, work with the school safety. We certify the SROs and juvenile officers.
And, of course, Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers.
Yes, very important.
Which we do a lot of work on that. And New Hartford Fire Department Chief Tom Bolanowski in as well. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And I would, we thought that we could just take the time, and I'll start with you, Chief, talking about the importance of, so I know in my house we have smoke detector, heat detector, and carbon monoxide. But at the very least, smoke detector and carbon monoxide are pretty essential, right?
Yeah, definitely. And the heat detector is good, too, in your garage areas and places like that where you may have an automobile. So carbon monoxide is dangerous because you can't detect it yourself. So that's why working in-date alarms are so important to have. And
I had somebody say that the other day that works with furnaces that the human body is really good at consuming carbon monoxide and into our system, into our veins, and into tissue, and that's what really makes this such a deadly. And you don't know it's happening.
No, it's colorless, odorless.
Yeah.
You don't. It's a slow.
The other thing,
build up.
Tell me if I'm wrong, that I've been told about that it is. You start off maybe feeling you just don't maybe feel sick, like maybe
flu-like
you've got a
symptoms.
virus. Yeah,
sure.
So, and with the flu going around, it's very easy to think that.
Sure.
One of the how often do you find when you come across this that someone has a smoke detector or a carbon monoxide detector alarm, yet the batteries are dead or it's no longer effective?
Sure, that does happen in both cases. All of these things have a shelf life, as you know.
Yeah.
You know, smoke detectors generally now are pushed out to about 10 years, but we find a lot of people are still having the older units in their homes. They're not updated.
Yeah.
And then your CO detectors, they have a life of 5 to 7 years. They say 10 on some of the packaging. What they're talking about is 10 years on a battery life. What happens, unfortunately, is that the sensor that's used in the CO alarms is different. You know, the smoke alarm detects byproducts of combustion, whereas the CO detector, it's looking for, improper burning of fuels. And it does have a shelf life of the sensitivity. So what I'm getting at is there's different lives to them. Even when you test an older CO alarm, it may still beep. It doesn't mean the sensor is doing its job internally, though. And they have a shelf life. Usually the back will say an end date of its service life, especially newer units. When in doubt, just replace it.
Yeah.
So
in our home, we moved into our home 6 or 7 years ago, and it was built maybe 25 years ago. So, and there's a built-in wired system. How those have the same issues, don't they?
They're going to have the same sensors, your CO detectors, sure. And
so you really should replace those.
You really should. Yeah, it's good peace of mind for you and your family.
And I'm a nut about it. I feel like I have more than I probably need. But you can never have.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to get in trouble because you have.
Not at all.
I mean, when the kids were home, I made sure we had one in every bedroom because you just don't. What if the fire started in the bedroom, and then you find out? Well, it would be too late.
Yeah, it's really low cost insurance for some peace of mind and safety of your family.
Yeah. We'll talk more about the fire department coming up, but I want to bring Ed in, Ed Schmidt. Ed and I go way back to the Washington Mills days when the police department was right over there across the street from the radio station.
Yes.
And you didn't seem to love all the stunts that I've pulled back then. So,
well, do you want to get some stories or for another time?
There were some wild stories.
Maybe another time.
All right. Let's talk about landlords and tenants. It becomes kind of a dance that you go through.
Yeah, landlords, and I own several rental properties, and, landlords have certain requirements. The equipment's got to be there, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. If you have a multifamily unit, really I think it's 3 or more units in a building, the municipality has to come in and inspect every 3 years. But the landlords are responsible for providing the equipment and that it's functional, but the tenants are responsible for maintaining it. And there's still a lot of properties out there. The chief touched on with some of the older equipment. Current codes, laws, you have to either new construction's got to be hardwired systems, and now older construction, we got a lot of older, obviously, buildings, properties around here. Some of them could have some older equipment that's still battery operated. Well, you can still access and change the batteries in. But again, new standards, hardwired, or it's got to be, again, as the chief mentioned, the 10-year sealed battery.
Yeah.
Because the problem is tenants will get in there. The remote control's not working for the TV. Your kid wants to watch a program. And famous for grabbing a battery out of the smoke detector, for your remote. There goes your
it's
safety
the
device.
old I'll put it back as soon as I'm done, and it never seems to
Good
happen.
intentions.
Yeah. So there's the premise, of course, obviously, behind the sealed units, so they can't grab those batteries.
All right. And is it the same thing for carbon monoxide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And where one carbon, depending on the size of your apartment or your home, it would be one per floor, right?
It's supposed to be any floor with bedrooms, sleeping areas.
Okay.
Also near the source of or equipment that could generate the carbon monoxide. You know, close proximity.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
about
right.
10 to 20 feet away from any type of appliance, fuel burning. Not right on top of it.
Yeah, you kind of want to avoid the annoyance of it going off. Whether
Well,
it be,
some of these things that
when you're
start
cooking.
up are going to have a discharge or whatever once it gets operating. So you could have some accidental activation.
Yeah.
It usually just follow manufacturer's recommendations.
Manaski.
One more thing. You mentioned a heat sensor earlier or a heat alarm?
Yeah, they have a heat sensor. They usually you'll put those in like garages and such because you're going to have, people are putting their cars in there. They're starting lawnmowers. They're using
Batteries
fuel-burning
today.
appliance,
The
right.
batteries. You're charging all these batteries in your garage.
It is important to also have a detector in your garage, especially when it's attached to the structure. But usually you'll find a heat sensor in there, most likely zeroed down, and commercial properties will have the same thing, so you don't have constant misactivations of the alarm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I think that is the placement is important. Because if it's always going off when you're cooking a hamburger, people are going to tend to want to disengage.
Yeah,
the
for smoke,
thing.
you're looking at 10 to 20 feet away from the appliance.
Okay.
Is the recommendation.
Tell me about I didn't realize this, but New Hartford Fire Department is not a paid fire department.
We are totally volunteer. We're in our 125th year this year.
I would think for the size of the village of New Hartford, the commerce that goes on in New Hartford, I am surprised.
In the town that we're a village fire department. Yep, and we contract to cover parts of the town, as you mentioned, the commercial corridor, somewhat out by Sangertown, up out of the Kirkland line. Yep.
So how can people that live in New Hartford help? I know there are fundraisers and that sort of thing.
We have a fund drive. We have events that we do throughout the community as well that are part of fundraising. If not all just fundraising, we do the Believe, we do our fire truck. It's a lot of giving back to the community, but we do have an annual fund drive, and we are always looking for active members to join.
And if I can say one more thing without getting into what happened last week, which is why we're talking about it, but when ambulance were making their way to Wynn Hospital, being escorted by UPD, they came to the intersection of the Parkway and Genesee Street, and a car went flying through and smashed into the police car. That happened while all of the chaos was going on to begin with. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of paying attention when you're on the road, pulling over for emergency vehicles?
Sure.
When you hear or see something, slow down, because you never know when you're going to enter an intersection where a fire truck or an ambulance or a cop car is going through.
Absolutely. I mean, it's different now. People are distracted more than ever in their cars, as we all know, with different devices, and they're not paying attention to what they should be doing. Also, our cars are more sealed now.
Yeah.
You're not hearing different things you would have heard years ago. So, yes, you do need to pay attention to any sirens, anything going on around you. A lot of cars now have a built-in warning system into the radio head that'll warn that there's an emergency vehicle. It's a lot of brand-specific. We have emitters on our fire trucks that'll work with some of those cars to alert that there's emergency vehicles approaching. But, it is unfortunate that happened, and just got to pay attention out there. The emergency could be, yours that we're trying to get to. So if you could give us the right of way when you see an emergency vehicle, it would be most appreciative.
I think we're, for the most part, pretty good around here. Try traveling to a major city, watching the ambulance sit in traffic. I don't know how they do it. I just don't know how they do it. So anything you want to add, Ed?
No, I think we covered some really important topics this morning.
All right, Chief, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American American revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first-of-its-kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Alyssa Elman is running for the 24th Congressional District, and she is running against Claudia Tenney, who is in that quite Republican district. Alyssa, good morning, and thanks so much for coming on.
Good morning. It's nice to meet you.
We invited your opponent, but she doesn't like me, so she won't come on. So what do you? So tell us about your campaign. And I got to say, isn't it a pretty Republican district, the 24th?
Yeah, it sure is. It is a Republican district, but the biggest issue is that Republicans show up a lot more to vote than Democrats. The numbers aren't that far off. It's that 85% of Republicans show up and around 35 to 40% of Democrats show up to vote. But I think Democrats and independents are activated in a way they haven't been in a long time, and I'm hoping for the best.
How will I know that there's been some controversy out there with Claudia Tenney regarding a tennis player and all of that. How is that story playing out there?
Well, I read it in Politico. I have seen it all over the internet, but I thought it was pretty interesting that Kathy Hochul shared it the other day with some criticism of Claudia Tenney underneath of it, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Maybe it will do good things for my campaign. I don't know. So for those who are out that way, what do you support? What do you stand for? Are you a far left Democrat? I really don't know a lot about your policies. Well, I consider myself pretty independent-minded. I grew up in the Southern Tier. I was born in Allegheny County, and in that area, this breaks a little bit from the Democratic Party, but you need a gun if you live in the middle of nowhere and you're 45 minutes from a police station. It's practical to own a gun, so that is something that I break a little bit from the Democratic talking points with. But as you know, I think I'm just going into this not necessarily to cram my ideas down other people's throats, but to listen to constituents and actually learn new things and rely on experts to help me make good decisions for everybody in this region.
Okay.
Are you a veteran? I see here it says you're a survivor of burn pit cancer. And it also talks about your
what is that?
Your walks in Afghanistan. Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, yep, I'm a combat veteran. A little bit about me. I joined the Army in April of 2001. I did something called the split option training, where you go to basic training between your junior and senior year of high school, and when you graduate, you go off to do your AIT or MOS training for your job skill. And so I joined the Army, and this is just prior to September 11th.
Yeah.
My dad walked me to the gangway of the flight, because back then you could walk someone to their flight.
Wow.
And he said to me as I boarded the plane, "Alyssa, what are you going to do if we go to war?" And I went, "We're not going to war. We're fine." At 17, I really didn't have a concept of that. A few days into my senior year, September 11th happened, and I knew that I would probably be deployed.
Yeah.
And sure enough, on my 19th birthday, I boarded another flight to go down to North Carolina to join a unit
that eventually was deployed to Afghanistan.
Wow.
And
I always ask people who are combat veterans of places like Afghanistan, when you first flew in, and it's like going to see Niagara Falls for the first time, I would assume, or the Grand Canyon for the first time. You're looking at it like, oh my God, I'm seeing this for real. I mean, you are seeing what we see on TV every night at the time, Afghanistan. Yeah. What was that like to just look and see everything that you'd always seen on TV?
Well, it was very interesting. We landed in the middle of the night on a tarmac in Bagram, Afghanistan, and I will never forget when they opened up the back of the C-17 that we were in. It was a little bit like sticking your face in the oven. It almost was so hot that it felt like my eyebrows were singed a little bit. Wow. And it's a lot like visiting Tatooine. Like if you're into Star Wars, that's a lot what it's like. It's so hot and so dry, but I enjoyed my service there. I really enjoyed doing flight operations, which is working with logistics and helicopters, which is sort of a cool job.
Yeah.
And it was a learning experience. I came home and back to New York State, and I worked for state active duty for a little while, and then I took a DoD contracting job back in Afghanistan. So I ended up going back and spending several more years there, doing logistics on Kandahar Airfield with airplanes instead of helicopters.
I want to just ask you, you are a Democrat, but what is your feeling on the Biden pullout of Afghanistan, which just looked so horrific and so many people criticize?
It was really pretty clear to anybody who'd been there that this was poorly planned. I don't know exactly who was responsible for the logistics of pulling out of the country, but it clearly was not done in a responsible manner.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, directly Joe Biden or somebody underneath of him that was responsible for planning that.
But it was bad.
But I do know that it was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no denying that. I think that's some of what Democrats do wrong is they don't admit when something isn't going well.
Right.
And this is something that clearly did not go well. And I think it's important for us to look at that in the future to learn lessons from that.
Especially if we want people on the ground to work with us and trust that
sources of information.
We're really going to take care of them, or we're going to leave them behind to be tortured. We're almost out of time. I hate to say this, but Manansky has a question.
Alyssa believes there's a place for anyone who wants to call America their home. That brings up the issue of immigration, illegal immigration, and everything going on in Minnesota at this point. What are your thoughts on all that?
I never in my lifetime imagined that I would watch such horrible treatment of American citizens in broad daylight on our streets. There are ways that we can deal with immigration, but I'm not sure terrorizing people is the way to do that. I think it's through legislation and actually fixing the immigration issues that we have that are a lot deeper than just who's here right now, let's support them all. I think that's really a negative way to go about doing this. And, people deserve due process. We claim to be democratic leaders throughout the world, and yet we're skipping our own constitution and application to these people because why? Because it's convenient to the government.
Yeah.
That really bothers me. I think that people are people no matter where you go. And I have learned that treating people with dignity and respect, no matter where you're at in this world, solves 98% of problems. And I mean,
we're speaking with Alyssa Elman. She's running for Congress in the 24th. She is a Democrat who's running against Claudia Tenney. I'll leave it at that because it is horrific to see. I spoke with a combat veteran just the other day that said we wouldn't treat the Afghani people that way, and if we did, we would be court-martialed. And that's really pretty telling, right?
That's very telling and very true. And what we witnessed on TV with Alex Preddy last weekend was horrific. And I hope that, it's not too late for anybody to take a look at what's happening and say, I don't condone this.
We'll do this. Hopefully, again, we can do this again, Alyssa. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And we wish you good luck out there.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks so much.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now at your local GNC.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Steven Greenberg is with Siena Research Institute, and they came out recently with a poll. They got a lot of people, I kind of think, yelling at us. Steven, good morning. Thank you so much for coming on.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
So I would say that my take on this is we shouldn't be surprised that her approval rating is so high. Now, if you were to isolate that approval rating into upstate New York and certainly our region, I don't think it would be even close to where it is. But if you do it statewide, I've discovered as I travel, you go to larger cities, you go to a Buffalo or, God forbid, New York City, and you start talking about how this governor is screwing everything up, and there's someone that's going to stand right up to you and say, I think she's doing a wonderful job. So it's different depending on where you are. Your thoughts on my concept?
That is absolutely true, and that has always historically been true of New York. So if we take a step back for a second and look at Governor Kathy Hochul's favorability rating. Right now, 49% of New York voters say they have a favorable view of Hochul. 40% say they have an unfavorable view. Now, that's not through the roof. That is not incredibly great. On the other hand, it is up 7 points from December when her favorability rating was 43 to 41. And that 49% favorable is the highest it has ever been in 4.5 years of Kathy Hochul as governor. The previous high was 48%. If we look at it regionally, you nailed it. In New York City, 2-to-1 favorable. 58% of New York City voters view Hochul favorably. Only 29% view her unfavorably. In the downstate suburbs, Long Island, Westchester, that area, break even. 45% of downstate suburbanites view Hochul favorably. 45% view her unfavorably. And upstate, she is underwater, but not hugely underwater. Right now, among upstate voters, 42% view her favorably, 48%, the plurality, view her unfavorably. And we see similar numbers when we look at her job approval rating. Do you approve or disapprove of the job Hochul is doing as governor? Right now, 54% of New Yorkers approve, 41% disapprove. So on the positive side by 13 points, that's pretty good. Better than 2-1 in New York City approve of the job that she's doing. A little bit above water in the downstate suburbs, 50 to 45%. And virtually break even among upstaters. 47% of upstaters approve of the job Hochul's doing, 46% disapprove.
Are you able to break it down and include, just isolate Western New York?
No, unfortunately, we can't.
That would be interesting, just because of the stadium. I mean, they've credited her, which really she's responsible for pushing to build that Buffalo Bills stadium.
No question. Unfortunately, though, when we do a statewide poll, it is really hard to break it down any more than the 3 regions we already do.
All right. I would ask you, how is Delgado doing, and then Blakeman? What are you seeing there?
Sure. Well, both Delgado and Antonio Delgado, the lieutenant governor, and Bruce Blakeman, the Nassau County executive, both of them suffer right now from not being particularly well known to New Yorkers. Delgado, 21% of New Yorkers view him favorably, 18% unfavorably. 61% have either never heard of him or don't know enough about him to have an opinion. Similar for Blakeman, 18% favorable, 20% unfavorable, 62% either have never heard of him or don't know enough about him to have an opinion. But that's what campaigns are about. It's about trying to educate voters, inform voters about you, about your opponents, et cetera. So if we look at the Democratic primary, and let me preface this by saying we talk to registered Democrats. These are not likely Democratic primary voters. We'll do that as it gets closer. But right now, among all Democrats in New York, Hochul has a commanding lead over Delgado. 64% for Hochul, 11% for Delgado.
Wow.
And if we look at, again, registered voters, this is not likely November gubernatorial voters, but registered New York voters right now favor Hochul 54 to 28%. So a 26-point lead for Hochul. Back in December, it was comparable. It was 50 to 25, so a 25-point lead. And again, a lot of that has to do with right now, voters don't know who Bruce Blakeman is. So if we look at it by party in that horse race, not shockingly, Democrats back Hochul over Blakeman 79 to 8%. 79 to 8. Republicans back Blakeman, but only by 69 to 15. One would assume that as more Republicans get to know Blakeman better, one of the goals of the Blakeman campaign is bring all those Republicans back home. And among independents right now, close, but leaning toward Hochul, 41%. Hochul, 34% of independents say they're with Blakeman.
Interesting. Where is New York on ice?
New York does not like ice, and I'm not talking about when you get out of your freezer.
That's right. Or that's going to form outside over the weekend.
Yeah, right. Immigration and custom enforcement is not popular with New York voters. We included them in our favorable, unfavorable section. Right now, only 28% of New Yorkers say they view ICE favorably. 2/3, 67%, view them unfavorably. Large partisan divide here. Democrats view them unfavorably, 85 to 13. Republicans view ICE favorably, 66 to 26. But independents on this question look a whole lot more like Democrats than Republicans. They have an unfavorable view of ICE, 68 to 26%.
Wow.
We asked voters, do you think ICE's tactics have gone too far, haven't gone far enough, or just about right? 2/3 again, 67% of New York voters say ICE's tactics have gone too far. 85% of Democrats say that. 63% of independents say that. And 1/3 of Republicans say that ICE's tactics have gone too far.
Yeah, that's a very big number. 1/3 of Republicans, I would think. And also, the president on immigration has lost Joe Rogan, who played a big role in bringing a lot of those independent voters in.
Yeah, well, we asked a bunch of questions about the president and whether voters approved or disapproved of the job that he was doing in certain areas. One of them was securing America's border with Mexico. And on that, he was a break even. 45% of New Yorkers approve, 44% disapprove. And that's because 83% of Republicans and half of independents approve of what he's done there. But then when we asked, handling the deportation of people in the U.S. illegally, only 33% of New Yorkers approve of that, 58%, a clear majority, disapprove, including 78% of Democrats and 56% of independents who disapprove. But 3/4 of Republicans approve of Trump's handling of the deporting of people illegally in the U.S.
Steve, getting back to Hochul for a second, is there any issue that can be pointed to? I wasn't sure if it was favorability or the, why can't I think of it, overall approval number, but you said it was up 7 points since December. Is there a piece of legislation or a stance she took that can be pointed to say that, that correlates with that 7% spike?
Well, it's possible. It's hard to know specifically, but we did ask voters about a half dozen proposals that Hochul has made, either as part of her State of the State address or her budget address. And all 6 of them have a strong majority support among New Yorkers. So eliminating, and I should point out, 4 of the 6 have bipartisan support. How often do we say that in the modern world? Eliminating state income taxes on the first $25,000 earned in tips. Overwhelming New Yorkers supported 68 to 15%, and that includes support from 70% of Democrats, 66% of Republicans, 66% of independents. Increasing funding for child care by $1.7 billion for a total of $4.5 billion in state funding for child care and pre-K programs. 2/3 of New Yorkers support, 66% support compared to 18% who oppose. Support from 78% of Democrats, 62% of independents, and a plurality, 44% of Republicans. So there are a bunch of issues that the governor has been talking about over the last month that New Yorkers like.
Yeah.
Is that what's moving the numbers? Hard to say, but it's certainly a reasonable, thought.
It'll be interesting to see once Blakeman gets his commercial started and people start to learn who he is. He starts making stops in the locations around the state. It'll be interesting to see what that does to the numbers. But I just feel like New York is not, and you're the expert, so I'm more asking. New York is not the same New York that existed when Governor Pataki became governor of New York.
That's exactly right. The state has become more democratic over the last 2.5 decades. So, I mean, the Republicans face, in a statewide race, a serious uphill climb. Why? 49% of the enrolled voters in this state are Democrats. Only 22% of the enrolled voters in the state are Republican. Democrats have a better than 2-to-1 advantage. There are more independent voters in New York than there are Republicans. So it makes it hard for a Republican to win statewide, which is why we have not seen a Republican do that since Pataki won his 3rd term back in 2002. No, I was just going to say, on the other hand, one thing that Republicans can point to, 4 years ago, Lee Zeldin came within 6 points of beating Kathy Hochul. Yeah. It was the closest a Republican has come to winning a statewide race since Pataki won in 2002. And if we look at the presidential race, if we go back in 2016, Clinton beat Trump by 22 points. In 2020, Biden beat Trump by 23 points. In 24, Harris beat Trump in New York, but only by, and I say only, 13 points.
Right.
it was the closest the presidential race has been in New York in a generation.
And that showed with the congressional races. New York added Republicans. Actually, it was New York that gave Republicans the majority in the House.
We have a number of really hotly contested congressional races across the state. We did 2 years ago. We will again this year. But yeah, I mean, in individual districts, Republicans have a much better chance, depending on the district, than they do in the statewide. But again, statewide races in the last presidential and gubernatorial election have been closer than they have been in this century. So maybe that is something that Republicans can point to.
Interesting stuff as always. We love having you on, Steve. Steve Greenberg with Siena Research Institute, and we'll do it again. Sometimes we got a big year coming up, so we'll do it again soon.
We do indeed.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Anybody want to comment on that?
Well, now you know why I don't listen to the news that much.
Okay. All right. Maybe you're better off. Maybe you're the one.
I mean, I'm doing the math. They're saying Republicans are leaving this flocks. Republicans are leaving the state, and we've welcomed, shall we say, some illegal aliens who will definitely vote Democrat, no doubt in my mind.
They can't vote.
Oh, they're trying to make it so before this next presidential election.
Please, can we not get into this?
All right, all right.
Please, because that's not going to happen.
It will happen.
Then how did they do that with the Constitution? There is no way an illegal immigrant, a non-citizen, can vote for a House member or the President of the United States.
We'll see.
No, there is no way. It's not we'll see. They'd have to change the Constitution. We can't do that in New York. There are some local races who are trying to allow for immigrants to be able to vote. Some local races, not state or national races. These are facts.
Okay.
All right. I'm with you though. I mean,
thank you.
I've got your back.
When faced with complex challenges, there are people who come together to use their skills and connections to solve problems and transform lives. That's us. We are Rotary, a global network of people taking action to make the world a better place. We work with community partners to build green spaces for all to enjoy and to connect with nature and each other. We support local youth through mentorship and literacy programs, developing life skills that lead to academic success and personal growth. We're committed to causes that improve lives everywhere, building peace and economic opportunity, providing access to healthcare and clean water, and ending polio forever. We are people.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.